What's up, YouTube? Today we're looking at the Schrade Old Timer. They say it's a Skinner blade, kind of a sod buster type deal that I think was made by Baron's son. Interestingly, the only thing I had watched on this before I got it was from a gentle person named, well, the channel name is Erica's EDC. I'm assuming her name is Erica. I don't really know. I may link her channel in the description. In any event, just Google it or put it in YouTube and then subscribe. She does way more testing, quote unquote, than most people, meaning that she will do over the course of a month several reviews. It's actually, I think, pretty good to go. But because she is a petite person and I am not, her hands made this seem probably much larger to me. So when I got it, I was like, this is small. This is a small thing. But it's not as small as it looks. She did a review of it. I think she said it was kind of outside of her normal wheelhouse. She usually does, I think, modern stuff. Not that it really matters. And I think it's a good idea, actually, to have people that don't usually look at these things take a look. I think it's eye-opening and helps, kind of spread awareness of traditional knives. That, hey, they're a thing. But she also went out of her way to kind of be nice to the knife. I'm assuming she's a very nice person. She probably doesn't get in insane fights with other YouTubers like I do. So I am going to fill in the negative things. She says, and I'm going to take her word for it, she seems like a very capable person, that this 1095 carbon steel is much harder than her usual experience with it. And I'm going to, I'll actually take that at face value. This blade is very well done. The grinds are not bad at all. We obviously have a concave hollow grind. You can see it has Old Timer USA. The packaging says stainless. I wouldn't worry about it. 1095 carbon steel. I used to work in an envelope factory, and it's pretty easy, especially if your packaging is being made somewhere where they don't speak English, to churn out like 10,000 of these things or whatever, maybe the whole order, and not really understand, this isn't right. So just a heads up, this is saw cut bone, real nice, looking good. So I'm going to go over the negatives and then we can talk a little bit more about this piece. One, it comes dirty, meaning in there, see those shining washers? At first I thought there was only one washer on mine because it was so dirty. And let me break the lock. Right in here was just full of stuff. Like super gross. So what you're going to want to do is brush it out, oil it up. When you wake up the next day, brush it out again, oil it up again. And as necessary, repeat that. Besides that, we have gaps here. We got gaps here. And then I have a proud thing right here. She said that she had a pin so proud that she buffed it down with her Dremel. We also have some gapping there on the back. It does have a stop pin, which, that's good. That is a good thing. A.G. Russell was pushing those forever. I'm glad that they're catching on all over the place. This is a really good size for EDC. And she said, as in Erica, if that is indeed her name, from Erica's EDC, that it's sharpened very well. I haven't sharpened this. I will say the edge is very well done, although I think the edge is far more acute than I would like. I only like 20 degrees. Although if this is hard, it should be able to maintain this for some time, and that's good. More bad. The bad is The bad is this, guys. Some places you're going to buy these for $100. I bought this for $50. Other places, 75. I handle a lot of, this whole channel is traditional knives. And like sometimes pens and maybe a watch. It's all, or guns. Always knives. I don't really have that many guns, but I do show them on the channel. And you know, prepping stuff, obviously. But so is this a good value for 50? For $50, I would say, depending on how everything holds up, not bad. Not a bad value. For $100, I think it's a little lacking. For $75, still a little bit like, eh. There are other options out there from America. You could potentially pick up an American-made fixed blade for that much money off of eBay. To act like this is the only show in town, and I'm not saying that anybody is. I think that people are just excited to see Schrade made in the U.S. again. And you know what? I am too. That's cool. It's good to have a U.S. option for people like myself who are only going to buy knives made in the U.S. It does have a pretty decent point. The tapering, I don't know if I would call it an actual distal taper, but it's close. It's not like it's cold steel where they just don't even try. And, you know, all in all, not bad. But, you know, I may or may not link to Erica's review of this, but she said, you know, it felt like a Schrade, kind of a little rough. Mine is not actually that bad. But, oh, and she said that you could roll this out fairly easily. So she has hands and fingers much smaller than mine. And that's not something I'm going to want to do. You know, I might cut myself. But as far as value, you know, I'm going to keep using this. I'll probably on and off for the rest of the summer. Maybe I'll just have it in my pocket all the time. And I'll be able to give you a better idea of this. Oh, and by the way, there's a giant gap on this bolster. Explain that one to me, Baron Son. But in any event, I think, you know, if you've got somebody that likes this stuff, you can get this at a decent price. You see it at a hardware store for a decent price, pick it up. And do check out Erica's EDC. Seems very cool. Seems like a resource I think my subs could probably use. She's a minimalist, and she lives a lifestyle that I think a lot of people talk about but don't walk the walk. So in any event, thanks for sticking with me to the end. That's all she wrote for this one. I hope this helps somebody make it a buying decision. Bye now.